Okay. So I'm going to enable you to share your screen. Is it okay if we record your shared screen?
I do not mind.
Okay. So if you need to clean up anything, go ahead and do that.
All
And
right.
all right. So you're able to share your screen now.
All right. Okay. Share screen. All right.
And you can share your desktop or you could share a window. Um, I guess it would be okay to share the Whizzle window if you have one open.
I got.
Okay, there you are.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in another window, which we won't be able to see, but that's okay, if you could go and copy the line that contains the full text of the alias and just have that in your copy paste buffer.
Control C. That should do
Yes,
it.
after selecting the line.
I'm gonna go to Notepad just to make sure it's in.
Okay.
Just copy and paste it in there.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's a good cautious thing to do.
Okay. Yeah. It looks right.
Good, good. Now, in this window that you're sharing, uh, do ls space dash a and hit return. Okay, so ls lists the contents of a directory, and the dash a command line option instructs ls to include files and directories which begin with a dot. And that's why you see dot and dot dot and dot bash history, dot bash logout, et cetera, et cetera.
All right.
Okay? So uh, we could add this to dot bash rc. I think we could also add it to dot profile, and you were having problems with adding it to dot profile. So type in the following, vi space dot profile.
PROFILE.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
And hit return. And use capital G, and you'll notice that your cursor has gone to the bottom.
Yeah.
Say capital A, and you're in insert mode now. So hit the carriage return,
Uh.
the return key to make a new
Enter.
line. Yep, enter. Yeah, there you go. Now, uh, pasting in a console window like this perhaps might be best done by right-clicking on the title bar of the window over on the left-hand side where the icon is. Left-hand side, the other left. Yeah, so right-click there,
All right.
and you see a little menu pop up,
Yeah. Restore, move, size, minimize, maximize.
and no paste. Okay, so maybe,
Close, edit, defaults, properties.
oh, I just saw a paste come up. All right, so right there, you're right-clicking and hit paste, and hit return,
Okay. Enter.
and escape. And you notice how you're not in insert mode anymore.
Yeah.
Now, to write and exit, you would use colon, okay,
Colon.
colon,
Not semicolon, right?
not semicolon, W for writing and Q for quitting, WQ. Hit return. Okay. Now, uh, you could, forgive me, you could invoke this now, but let's make sure it runs for a normal start. So I would like you to exit this window. That, of course, will stop sharing.
All right.
So EXIT. and hit return. And good. Now, if you could launch it a second time and share that window. Okay. Now type in alias and hit the enter key. Let's see if it took, and
ARM.
that would, no, just the word in lowercase alias. Let's see if it took.
I
And
think
enter.
that's correct.
Yep, that's correct. And enter. And okay, so this is what I was concerned about. You'll notice that the alias that you added isn't there. So dot profile wasn't invoked. So let's do exactly the same thing. If you do ls-a, you'll see dot bash rc. So ls space dash a, hit enter. So let's do exactly the same thing with dot bash rc. So different shells use different startup scripts. So vi space dot bash rc, and rc stands for reconfigure. Dot b as in boy, bash, bash rc, ash, a. I'm sorry, go back and go with me slowly. So backspace 3 times, a shrc, and enter. And if you recall, we did capital G, go to the bottom, and a capital A, enter, and enter, and do that right click, and hopefully the paste buffer is still there. Yeah, right click on the screen, paste. Good, hit enter.
Does
No,
it need
no.
to have alias in front of ARM?
Oh, good heavens, yes. Yes. So your cursor's not there yet. Hit escape. Wasn't the word alias in the,
It might have not get caught. Might not have caught.
okay, yeah,
Uh,
all right.
yeah.
So that could be why it failed. All right, so hit escape, the escape key. Hit 0 and the lowercase I. Type in the word alias space and hit escape again. Space and hit escape. And colon WQ.
Colon.
Okay, so colon.
Colon.
Yep,
W.
WQ, enter. All right, and if you type in, we'll just confirm that it's there. So you can say tail, which says show me the end of a file. So tail space dot bash rc. And you can see that it's there at the bottom. We can invoke it now by saying source, source, space, dot bash rc, hit enter. Now type in alias, enter. And you see that it's now present. So it's all good. All right. Now, you say that at this point you have not unzipped the distro?
I have not unzipped the distro at this point.
Okay.
Alias. Yeah, now I see it. I was looking at the bottom. It's on the top.
Yep. So, well, it appears to be in alphabetical order. So I didn't know that it would be in alphabetical order, but that's kind of nice to know. So LS enter, no dash A this time, and you'll see the difference. See, now there are no occurrences of the files and directories that begin with a dot. Okay, so
Ah,
that's the difference between dash A and no dash A. Okay, let's see if you have unzip. I believe you do. So just type in unzip, hit enter. I believe I put it in there, or actually no, maybe I didn't. No, I didn't do this because this is just Whizzle. So say exactly what it says there. sudo space apt space install space unzip. Did you, by any chance, follow my advice and make a trivial password?
this is the one that I was using in CS1. So the password, I know the password, but it's not like trivial password like A.
Okay, you can change it if you want. So I can show you how. So go ahead, install. Oh, this is going to want you to update first, but go ahead, let's try it.
I updated everything yesterday.
Oh,
So if there's
super.
any new updates after that,
I wouldn't worry. Yeah. So one more L and space unzip
um,
and hit enter. Okay. And after this, you can confirm that you have unzipped by just typing it in, hitting enter. Now, have you downloaded the distro?
not yet.
Okay, so maybe in another window you can go ahead and do that. Actually, well, let's see. I'm gonna have to show you how to do this anyway. So go ahead in another window and download that.
All right, go here. Any place I should put it for easier access or like downloads
Yeah,
or
put it in your downloads so we know where to find it.
all right.
Good questions you're asking.
I tried to get as far as I could on my own, but I just got stuck there and um I
Okay, well,
did try and get help on the Discord. And Discord
uh,
was a useful resource, but I couldn't understand. So
yeah.
thank you
You,
for taking time for me.
well, I'm very happy to do so. Which Discord server was it? The CS Carthage CS?
Carthage CS barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of people were talking about it there too. Well, they were stuck at different parts, but
Mm-hmm.
it was very useful.
Good. Hector says good too. What's that on? Oh, Fredo has nothing to say, and Lily just wants food. Okay, how you doing on the download?
It says 5 minutes left.
Oh, goodness. All right. Um, are you on campus Wi-Fi?
I'm on campus Wi-Fi.
If you invest in a, does your laptop have an RJ45 Ethernet connector?
Um, I do have.
It's likely it doesn't. Oh, you have one of those.
Yeah.
Okay, and you have a way of connecting it?
The computer I was using before this one broke, did. And I might. Is it the SS port?
No, that's a USB port, but show me both ends of your cable. I thought I saw a dongle.
All right.
Okay, so those are RJ45 connectors. Do you have a USB to Ethernet dongle?
Um, I might.
Okay, well, we've got 5 minutes. Woof, woof. Come on up here. Can the camera see you? You never jump, do you? Boy.
I don't think I do.
Okay, so if I could encourage you to purchase a USB to Ethernet dongle, they are very inexpensive. You'll be able to reconnect your laptop to the wired internet connection in your room, and your speeds will be 10 times higher than they are right now, possibly 100 times higher than they are right now.
Oh, these fun cables.
Okay?
I don't think I have one.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So if I could encourage you to purchase one, they're inexpensive, and your speed connecting to the campus network might be as much as 100 times faster.
All right. So what's the name of it again? I'm gonna type it down.
USB to Ethernet. Now, you'd have to look at your laptop and see what kind of of USB ports you have. So hopefully you'll have USB 3. So you'll want USB 3 to Ethernet. What do your USB ports look like? The big broad rectangles or thin ovals?
We in the dorm we've got the rectangle.
No, no, on your laptop.
Um, rectangles.
Okay. So if you were to purchase a USB 3, you can't go wrong.
So USB 3 to
Ethernet.
Ethernet.
ETHER.
Yeah. The reason I wasn't using this computer last semester was because the screen was flashing and would go off and on for periods of time.
Did it get fixed?
It got fixed, yeah. We sent it into the shop at the end of the semester, um, and it did get fixed. And when I got it back, I just had it was basically fixed, except for I was like checking if it they flash from once in a while, but we figured out it was the brightness settings, like the automatic brightness changing
Ah,
settings.
I hate that. Yeah. People, not people, but companies keep adding automatic settings to their products, which invariably are always do the wrong thing at the wrong time. Worst of all are companies that add the automatic setting and disallow manual override.
I got it now. I think it downloaded.
Good. Okay. Now, back to the window that you're sharing. Let me show you how you can reach out from Whizzle back to Windows.
All right.
Okay? Okay. Do you type in /MNT and hit tab a couple times. Okay, and hit tab now, a couple times maybe. Okay, so their MNT/MNT leads to your Windows hard drive because in Whizzle you're actually on a different hard drive. It's a
Ah,
logical hard drive, not physical. So then type in C slash and then capital U users with lowercase for the rest of the word. Or you can just do capital U and hit the tab. Yeah, hit tab
UTab.
and slash. And what is your Windows username? Type in the first couple of letters, hit tab, hit tab. All right.
I
Okay,
double
so
check.
maybe we don't remember that. So back up to the slash and hit tab twice. Back up to the most recent slash.
Okay.
So 4 backspaces, now 5. Okay, tab twice. Oh, so it must be you. It is users. So back up one more time and hit an S, I think. Okay, well, no. What I meant is capital USERS. So I think
Oh,
it's plural on Windows. And slash.
whoops.
Okay, well, that's good so far. Um, so beginning here, say ls space /MNT/C/users/R and hitting tab should work this time.
R.
/R and hit tab. Good, good. And now capital DOW and it should tab and it should lead you to downloads. Capital D.
Ah.
That's a Windows thing. DOW, hit tab and hit return, and you'll see is there anything in your downloads directory that you don't want us to see the name of?
Um, it's just a folder and some schoolwork stuff.
Oh, okay. So go ahead and hit enter. And there you go. You see you've got AARCH there.
Yeah.
Okay. So do the following. UNZIP space, unzip space, and then put in /MNT, and remember to use tabs because it saves time. So /C/capital US/R tab, capital DOW tab. You see, if you type in enough to make it unambiguous, then you won't get the console bell. So say A and tab and hit enter. Okay, now we wait. So hitting the tab refers to tab completion. So when you want to know what's in a directory from the command line, you can use the tab, and it'll try to do its best to complete If what you have so far is unambiguous, it will complete. Otherwise, if you hit two tabs in a row, it'll show you all the choices.
Mm.
So it's a way of saving typing.
Save your fingers.
Save your fingers. That's an international charitable foundation. Uh, uh, do you have Visual Studio Code installed?
I've got both Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code. I use Visual Studio Code.
Okay. Okay, now if you do an ls now, you'll see you have a new directory called AARCH64. So ls, enter. There it is. Now, the alias will work when you're in that directory. So type in cd, which stands for change directory, space, A, hit tab, enter. Now type in your capital ARM. And if Kimu's installed, there it goes, it's starting up.
It's like Windows Firewall Protection said. I'm like, I had to click, okay, allow access.
Yeah, okay. Okay, now when you're using the virtual machine, you just leave this window alone.
All right.
Okay, because this window is running the hardware console of the virtual machine, and you'll get spurious messages in it, which, if you're trying to do serious work, will screw things up.
Mm. Like update stuff, like, oh, this is what's happening on the machine right now, or
Yeah, it'll do things like, oh, there's a spurious interrupt on a certain timer. So it's things that ought not to be printed but are. These are all different parts of the operating system that are starting up. Okay, so it's fully up now. If you hit return, the words comporg login will repeat. Enter, I'm sorry. Okay, now launch another WSDL and stop sharing this window and share the new window. So you just leave until you're ready to shut down, you leave this one alone.
all right. Then go to Zoom and change tabs. I Zoom. All right, here.
Okay, I believe
Stop
you'll have
share.
good, good. Yeah. Okay. So now type in, and this is how you'll get access to the virtual machine. Type in SSH space. So that stands for secure shell. Uh, User, all lowercase, user at localhost, all one word. So at the at sign,
Ah,
localhost, HOST, yep, space, dash P as in Peter, space, 2222. Hit enter. The first time you do this, you'll get the following, and type in YES and hit enter. You won't see this anymore. Okay, the password is the letter A. And enter. And it'll think for a bit. And now you are logged in and ready to go to work in the virtual machine.
all
If
right.
you do an ls, hit enter. There's nothing there. Okay. Now, uh, when you use Visual Studio Code, there is a nice little plugin to Visual Studio Code that will squirt whatever you save onto this virtual machine. So I'd like to show you how to set that up.
All right.
Could you stop sharing this and share? Um, now it's tied to having a directory open in Visual Studio Code. Do you happen to have? Well, just create a um, uh, a directory that can be empty on your Windows machine, a folder.
Okay. A folder
Yep,
on my
just create a
Windows.
folder.
Um,
So now launch Visual Studio Code and then share that window.
what's the name of this class?
Comporg, Comporg.
For the folder.
Yep.
Um, and then open that in Visual Studio.
Well, I'll just open Visual Studio Code, and then we'll share it, and we'll take it from there.
Okay. First, I gotta share the screen. This is how things
Yes.
work in Zoom.
Okay, that's Visual Studio. I think you want Visual Studio Code.
There's this one too. Visual Studio Code. I use both, honestly.
So, and that's the one you want to share.
Okay. Here we go. Visual Studio.
Code.
And multiple.
Excellent, excellent. Very, very good. Now, do you see on the left the second from bottom icon in the sort of menu on the left? On the left-hand side. So, yeah, okay. The one that looks like four squares, move further to the left.
Ah,
Okay, click that. And this is how you add plugins to Visual Studio Code. So type in LIXI, and you see the second one says SFTP,
yep.
install. Good, good. Now, uh, go to the File menu and open.
File.
Oh, on Windows it has open folders. So go ahead and open folder and navigate to the folder that you created. All right. Now, so the SFTP plugin only works when you've configured it in a particular directory or folder.
Mhm.
So right now, you could configure it at this top level directory. I'll typically enable it per project directory, but that's okay. So type in, what is it on Windows? Shift Control P. Shift Control P all held at once. Good. Type in SFTP and click on SFTP config. So for any particular directory that you want to configure the SFTP for, you would have to do the following steps. Now, the port number, change that from 22 to 2222. Okay. And change username from username. You have move your mouse. Yeah. So currently the username is set to username. Just remove the NAME. Okay. Now move to the end of the line and hit enter. Good. And type in a double quote PASS and select password and type in the letter A. Now finally, there is one more change, and that would be remote path. And let's type remove the slash and enter um, project, projects. Okay, and hit save. And you can close this window now. Close, no, not Visual Studio Code. Close this tab. Okay, now something that is undoubtedly going to screw up a lot of students, if you look at the left-hand side, you see that sftp.json is tucked inside of VS Code. Okay, now you got to make sure that you don't add your work in that directory because you won't be able to find it. So move your mouse down slightly and click. All right. Now make a new folder and I hope it will, okay, click on that and let's see where it shows up. Good, perfect. And make a folder name, let's say P1. For project one, hit return. Now make a new file in here. So that would be that icon, yep, good. And let's call it test.s. And enter. Okay, and now it says here Marketplace has extensions with .s. Go ahead and search the Marketplace. And you'll find ARM. See the third one?
Yeah.
And go ahead and install. Good. So now you'll have syntax highlighting for, it's sometimes wrong though, but it's still kind of handy. You can close this tab because it's installed now. And type in, let's do a null program, a
All
program
right.
that does nothing. So how about two tabs and say .text. So that would be text as in text. So this is a segment called the text segment, and text is a weird word for code. Hit enter and say dot, the lowercase word global, and tab, main, M-A-I-N, just like in C++, hit enter, uh, dot, the word align, A-L-I-G-N, tab, 2, enter, and you can hit enter again, make it nicely formatted. Remove the two tabs on that line and type in MAIN colon.
That's semicolon.
Yes, colon, right, not semicolon. So tab, MOV, tab, another tab, make it a little bit more space, and say x0 comma xz is in zebra r. Enter. Two tabs. RET, enter. Congratulations, you've just written your first assembly language program that does nothing. Okay, so now hit save, and before you hit save, um, take a look down at the bottom blue bar that says SFTP.
Yeah.
You see that? Okay, now hit save and watch that area. Connecting, done. Now, share the window with Whizzle in it, the one that's connected to the SSH login that you made. So switch windows.
This is the
Okay.
one that's
Yep.
not the.
Yes. Good. LS again. Before there was nothing. Enter. Now you've got projects. Change directory CD to projects, and I bet do an LS, and you'll see P1. Enter. LS. You see P1. Okay. CD to CD space P1. Of course, you could have done this all in one, one go. So ls, enter, and you'll see test.s.
Enter.
Ls.
Oh,
You see your file's there on the virtual machine. So let's compile it and run it, okay?
okay.
So GCC, that's the C compiler, GCC space test.s. Enter. And now ls, and you'll see that a.out has joined your directory. Ls, enter.
LS. Enter.
Yep. So there's your executable, a.out. So dot slash, you can't just say a.out. This is a security, well, it's a safety mechanism. So you have to say dot slash a.out in order to execute a.out. And go ahead, and it'll do nothing. Ta-da, you did it. Now, while I have your attention, let me teach you some more, and we'll make a change and see what happens. Type in right now here dollar question mark and hit enter. And I think you'll see a 0. Okay, question mark.
That one's weird. Oh, there it is. It's not with the others.
Ah, okay.
Enter.
I'm sorry. So say echo space dollar question mark. Echo, H-O, E-C-H-O.
Okay.
Okay, echo spelled wrong. It's H-O space dollar question mark. Oh, okay. Yeah, we polluted dollar question mark. So say a dot out again, and instead of typing it, backspace, backspace, use your up arrow. See what happens. The up arrow on your keyboard. Good. That one. Now hit enter. You see how you could go find your history? Now
Yeah.
use up arrow twice and hit enter, and this will be a 0. Now, if you go back to your assembly language and replace XZR with the number 1, I'll show you what happens. So if you want to share your Visual Studio Code. Have you ever, in your whole life here at Carthage, you've been doing return zero, right, at the end of
Yeah.
programs? Now we'll actually see where does that zero go? Okay, so put in a number one there and save. Notice on the bottom it says done.test.s. Now flip back to the other window and share that. You're getting good at this.
Honestly, I think it's practice. You just got to
It,
practice and you get
it's
used to
all,
it.
that's what your professors have been saying since day one. I'm going to cry. Okay, so let me show you how to jump backward in time by a lot. Now, if you look at your screen way, way back there, you could hit up arrow, up arrow, up arrow until you get to the GCC, but it's shorter to say exclamation point, which is bang, bang G. Go ahead, hit enter. And now three up arrows. You see, you do whichever one is shorter. Three up arrows, enter. Three up arrows. Guess what you'll see? Enter.
Oh, it's one.
Yeah, so that's where your zeros go when you return zero from main, right? You just saw where does that value go? Who gets it? Well, your shell gets it. Whoever launched your program gets that return value. Rebecca, I think you're all set.
Thanks again.
Okay, very good. Do you have any other questions?
Um, the only thing that I've been wondering is I in the directory like the GitHub, you have it's like assembly C and C++. Are we eventually going to be going to C, or were just the C is the example, the C in that the examples to get to machine code
You mean in a particular document on the GitHub?
in the GitHub? Yeah, like the one that you showed last time with the
Don't
multiple.
panic. Don't panic.
Yeah, yeah,
Is that
don't
it?
panic.
Okay. Yeah. So that document is an attempt to show the progression of it's intended to take some fear out of using assembly language.
All right.
So I started you with what you know, which is C++, and brought you back down to C, and then made an even more simplified or devolved version of the C, which looks more and more and more like assembly language. And then I just replaced it with assembly language. Okay, now in your first project, I give you a C++ program. Maybe I give it to you in C. I don't remember. But then you have to turn in two files. One is the de-evolved C file, and then the other is the translated assembly language. Now that's only for project one. In future projects, you might be handing in only assembly language, and then after a few projects, we won't use assembly language anymore. We'll go back to what you know, C++.
All right.
Okay, so it's important that you know C in addition to C++. And having learned C++, you know almost all of C. There's only a few small tangible differences that are kind of in your face. One is there's no IO stream, so you'll learn how to use printf.
Mm-hmm.
The second is there are no classes. Uh, there are no classes. And another difference is, what was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say. But oh yeah, memory management. There's no new and delete. You'll learn how to do it on your own using malloc and free.
Hmm.
So after you master those new lessons, you could go out into the world and say, I can do C++ and I can do C and assembly language. Okay, good. Any other questions?
I think that'd be all.
Okay. Well, it was nice chatting with you and thanks for reaching out.
Thanks for the help. It was
Bye.
very useful.
Okay, good.
Have a good night.
You too.